All right, we are live. Hello. It is Sunday, December 29th, 2024. We're rounding out 2024. We were wondering when 2024 would end, and then here we are at the end. It's crazy. It's already the 29th, and then we'll have, just before you know it, we'll be at the end of the year. It's just crazy. So let's play the puzzles today. One of them, I'm excited to see what happens when I go into the puzzle, because I kind of did the puzzle already yesterday. If you saw yesterday's live stream, we ended up doing two mini crosswords. I was going to show you my answers to the mini crossword at the end, and then it was like, hey, do you want to play Sunday's puzzle? And I was like, well, let's see what happens. So, all right, create groups, 4 groups of 4. So the connections today: beach, date, lock, cherry, fur, maroon, time, pear, strand. We love playing the strands. Head, location, brick, duration, you, ruby, and wisp. Now, the things that stuck out just now were date, time, location, duration. These are things you might need for an event. If you're sending out an invite, what's the duration of an event that you create? Let's see if that's it. Oh, that is appointment specifications. Boy, that's exactly what I was just talking about. All right, and then let's see. Now clicking those, it kind of rearranges things a little bit, doesn't it? And so I see colors of red. I see cherry red. Maroon is technically a red. Ruby red. Ah, and brick. Brick is another red hue. Shades of red. Cool. Looks like we're doing them in order as well. We got the green first, and now we're working on our yellows. All right. Strand. Beach. Head. These are kind of beachy nautical terms, like coastline terms. A lock. A lock is where, you know, like the Loch Ness Monster. Strand. There was an old movie theater on the boardwalk called the Strand, and I always thought it was the funniest name until someone told me that that's a term about being on the coastline. I grew up on the coastline, so I know some of these. You know, Hilton Head Island, the beach, of course, and a lock. Let's see if that. No, it's one away. A wisp. Let's come back to that one, because we are close, aren't we? I wonder if it's a wisp. I've never heard that term. Let's just see. We might be throwing answers away. Okay. Okay, so it's not lock and it's not wisp. It's probably not you. So with those other ones, let's omit beach, strand, and head, because we know those go together. Fur. What would that be? Fur. Oh, like a lock of hair. A wisp of hair. And then fur is also hair. Fur ball. Let's think about that. Pair of hair. Hair. You. Just there's not any one that's shouting out to me like, oh duh, that's the one. So these ones really stand out. A beach, a strand, head, right? Like Hilton Head Island. Or you know what I'm thinking? There's a lock of hair, a head of hair, a wisp of hair, fur is technically hair. No. Ugh. Crumbs. Fur. Is that playing too loud? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that just hit me like a ton of bricks. A strand of hair. Fur. Strand of hair, head of hair, lock of hair, and wisp of hair. Different amounts of hair. There you go. Different amounts of hair. Okay, so then, man, I was real. See, I tricked myself. I painted myself into a corner thinking that these were different types of, like, man, oh man. Strand, because a strand is like a beach thing. A head, like a Hilton Head. All right, well, let's see. We did them in order this time. Look at that. Beach, you, pear, and fur. These ones are not coming out to me. Let's just see. Tree. Homophones. Hold on a sec. I love homophones. A beech tree, a fir tree, a pear tree, and a U. It's a Y-E-W. Y-E-W for a tree. Oh, man. I created in my brain my own red herring. I made that way too hard for myself. Oh, well, thank you for joining our stream. Oh, look at that. Hey, TBS. Oh, look at this. You're like screaming the answers to me. I don't look at the chat specifically for this reason. I love that people want to join and figure it out with me and stuff. But part of it is the struggle. I want to see that kind of that helpless struggle happen for myself. And if people kind of spoon feed me answers, then it just kind of gives it away, you know? So I don't fault you for, kind of wanting to, wanting to share answers with me. But I tend to not look at the stream's chat just for that reason, because I don't want to give it away. Can I ask you a question? Well, you just did ask me a question, didn't you? Yeah, if you want to ask a question while I get the mini crossword coming up. And the mini, we ended up kind of doing today's puzzle yesterday. So it is actually filled in. We had a couple of great answers there. If I say play, does it go to today's or tomorrow? No, it's going to go to today's. Well, that's okay. We can just go over it. A couple of really great answers here. Let's put it in the way. How do you get a stream on the Shorts feed? Well, you have asked the right guy. Let me tell you why. I don't have a ton of experience with it, but I am a video production teacher, and kids ask me questions like this all the time. So to make a short, it's got to be vertical, right? Now, to make a vertical live stream, your live stream has to be vertical. Now, you're like, well, I have my camera, and it's all set up to be horizontal, right? Do I flip my camera like that? So you could shoot with a phone, and it's vertical, and just by going live, in the YouTube app, you hit go live, the little plus sign, and then set up to live, you can do a live stream right there. And then you can make it more complicated if you have multiple inputs or like a screen capture like I have like this, with this great program called OBS. Look that one up, OBS. It's called Open Broadcast Software. And in OBS, It's a little tricky. There's lots of great tutorials online. Maybe I should even make tutorials on how to do this because it's really fun once you get it set up. And one of the things that it asks you is what size do you want it to be? But what about using OBS? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm using right here. And so the default is 16 by 9, which is 1,920 pixels across by 1,080 pixels down. It's just a grid, right? And so you go into the settings and invert those. So instead of 16 by 9, it's now 9 by 16, and you get this vertical column. And then you can kind of rearrange it, whether it's, you playing a game or, whatever's behind you. I happen to have a green screen here. Here, I'll kind of pull back the curtain a little bit, but you can see this is a little green screen. So it omits the green. That's just the default filter. Anyway, so I have it arranged really nicely as a couple of what they call scenes. So I have a scene just for connections, and it fits in really nicely for where connections is. And then when we go to the mini crossword, it fits in really nicely, and I have the hint on the top, and all these down kind of behind me here. Just sort of setting it up. For the Wordle, here I'll show you when we go to the Wordle, there's, it's kind of nicely arranged, and literally all I have to do is just click the button and it just fills in super nicely. So when we were at the mini crossword, it just fills in with this kind of preset that I do, and every time we go to a next one, we just hit that. So it's awesome. It's so cool. So we did the mini crossword yesterday. I was trying to show my viewers yesterday on Saturday my answers to the mini crossword, and it ended up being that I don't know what I clicked exactly, but I clicked play, and it was like, oh, you don't want to look at today's puzzle for Saturday, you want to play tomorrow's puzzle, right? And so I ended up playing 2 puzzles on the live stream, and this was the Sunday puzzle that I did on Saturday. I don't know how that works. I don't know how they did that, but here's how it is. So getting closer, so to speak, right? Sometimes they give you little hints like, well, it's a almost what you think kind of answer, and this one was getting closer, right? Warmer. Oh, you're colder, right? So to speak, you would say that you're getting closer if you said warm. The next one, let's see. First string crew is your A team, right? Thinking Mr. T and the A team. I had to look this one up, and I still have not looked this one up. I really should. Gonzo journalism, a style associated with Hunter S. Thompson. Gonzo. I don't know. I don't have any experience knowing what that is. I know photojournalism really well because, again, I'm a photo and video teacher. We have an entire unit just on the history of photography, and it's fascinating. It's so cool where we came to be this, like, I don't know, this super, like, tech. We have cameras in our pockets, and just how did we end up scrolling through TikTok all day? It started hundreds of years ago, arguing maybe even thousands of years ago with the invention of the camera obscura, and oh my gosh, it's just, I could go on for hours, literally hours about it. It's so fascinating. I was thinking, actually, I kind of joked with my live stream yesterday, what if I did the history of photography with you guys? Would you be bored to tears, or would you like really be honing in on that? I don't know, who knows, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Prized activity for new parents. And the air quotes here, the quotation marks, means it's kind of a stretch, just like how a question mark at the end of a hint will often mean that it's kind of a stretch, usually a funny answer. And this one could have been a question mark too. Prized activity for new parents is definitely sleep. This was easy, right? The opposite of more, less. Moves like an excited dog's tail. Wags. Wag the tail. I was laughing for quite a while here on this one. I had most of these letters, and I think I just needed the O or something. And I read it, and I was like, ring-shaped beef. Wait, what do you mean? Ring-shaped beef? And I'm like, thinking like roast beef, or like I'm thinking of all these like eye of round. I'm like, is this like a trick hint or something, and I read it again, and it's not ring-shaped beef. It's ring-shaped reef. R-E-E-F. Reef. Oh, gosh. Just funny. All right. Zellweger of Bridget Jones' Diary. That was, of course, Renee Zellweger. Puzzles in a children's coloring book. You might find mazes. Is that the only puzzle? No, but in the hint, if you put an S, that typically means, oh, do an S at the end. In this case, it was mazes. Cleans the floor. Somebody that cleans the floor is going to mop. You're going to mop the floor. Cool. Awesome. And that one went really, really well. Sometimes the puzzles are a lot trickier, a lot harder, but we did really well. All right. While I'm switching over, is there an online program too? No, OBS is something you have to download. You can get it on PC or Mac. I think it's available for Linux even. It's open source. That's kind of the beauty of it. You can go onto their libraries and stuff, and you can even find. I don't have my things. Oh, you know what? I could actually plug this in and just show you real quick. You can get all sorts of plugins, and for those plugins, you can insert in, different filters and transitions between scenes and stuff. It's really cool. I was going to show you, do I have that plugged in? I don't have it plugged in right here. But if I click on this one, do you see how it makes part of it blurred in the background? So that's a plugin I downloaded so that when I'm playing, here, let's just switch over and I'll show you. When I am playing, oh, it's over here. No, that's me. This one. Haha. So when I'm playing, Super Mario and I want to be playing my game, but I can't fill that into a perfect, vertical there, I end up just, I have the blur in the background to kind of occupy your attention span with something behind it, so it just kind of follows along. It's kind of funny. What if we just randomly played games? That's my other channel. My other channel is Kirkman Gaming. You should follow that one. The link is in my channel page. If you go to my channel page, you'll see it. Okay, so we're off topic, but that's okay. It's fine. That's what a live stream does, right? So let's play the Wordle. And I'm so sorry that it says a 2-day streak. I actually lost my streak the other day, and the reason for it is maybe not as happy, but our family pet, our sweet dog Sugar, passed away, and we sort of took a day of mourning, and yeah, I mean, the emotions are still very, very tender here at the house, but I had definitely different priorities that day, so I wanted to make sure I was with the family and all that, so I did not live stream that day, nor did I even do the puzzles, and so I lost my streak. We had a good streak of 10 days or so. I'm hoping to do a daily live stream. These are fun. Sometimes my kids will go, "Dad, where are you? Where'd you go?" I'm like, "Dude, downstairs doing the puzzle with you guys." Let's see. Is there an online program a way to sign up to a video learning thing that you talked about? I want to learn more. Me personally, I would actually love to make tutorials like that. The only way that you could get it from me now is taking my high school course. I teach photography, video, and TV broadcast, and it's a blast. I love it. I love what I teach. I love the kids that I get. These are the kids that, they'd be in graphics if they didn't like this stuff, or choir or something, but they chose to take photography or video because they love it, right? And so, sometimes kids will go, well, when are we going to ever use this? Some math class or something. Oh, there's the binomial theorem. When are we ever going to use this? And the teacher, either just shrugs it off or something. But for me, literally, I can say, you're using this right now. I mean, you take your phone out of your pocket, you take a picture, you're going to use composition. You're going to use, the rule of thirds. You're going to use the aperture inside your camera and stuff. You need to know how that stuff works and appreciate it. So, yeah, I love that that I have that group of kids that really wants to be there. That's just super cool. Oh, thank you for subbing to all my channels. That's awesome. Appreciate that. Okay, so we are doing the Wordle. And you know what? My strategy for the Wordle is to not have a strategy. It's just to come up with words, right? And so some people have really sophisticated strategies. And I thought, you know what? Let's you know what? In honor of our sweet doggo, let's see that. And there is an A in the puzzle. It's in the wrong place. So, got an S already. The second guess, I always love to put in like a non-intersecting word. Like a word that just I have not heard yet, you know? So like something that doesn't use the letters that I've already guessed. So what if, I don't need a W yet. What if I do later though? What if I tried chomp? Let's see, there's an M and an O. Okay, that's helpful. It wouldn't be like aroma because OM is right there. So let's kind of purge that word from our head, aroma. It's terrible. It's like not thinking of a pink elephant. You think of a pink elephant suddenly as soon as you think, as soon as you say it, right? So, oh, speaking of aroma, we're off task here, but aroma was the Strands theme. Aromatherapy was the Strands theme, and I just could not help laughing. I showed it to my wife. I was like, "You're not gonna believe this." I took a screenshot of it and everything. It's too funny. Let's see. There's no R. I think I'm still gonna go with my strategy where I come up with non-intersecting words. So like, maybe like an ELT word, like DEALT. Okay, so that didn't help us at all. All right, so that did give us that there are no letters of that, DEALT, but there is an A, and it's not in the middle. Okay. So this is where the rubber hits the road, and we start kind of putting in letters. Could be an M word. We haven't said N yet. Moni, is that a word? Okay, well, it does start with an M. That's great. And then let's kind of work our way backwards a little bit, because if it's M, the A could go here, and there, but it couldn't go third or fourth. I see my chat moving, but I'm purposely not going to look over at it in case you're trying to spill answers to me. I really love kind of figuring this one out for myself. What other letters? There's no R. Maori is a word. Is that a proper name though? We tried U and that was not it. We have not tried B. There's an O. See, it's tough if that's the only letters we have. 2 guesses too. So what if, so O can't be the starting letter, the starting vowel. I mean, it could start with an O. O. No, it can't, because the M. So it's an M word. Whatever it is, it's an M word. Okay. And it can't be M-O. It could be M-A. It could be M-I. Let's see. Trying to combine letters here. Can't be an M-O. It's probably an M-A. M-A. Okay. What if it's not M-O? It would have to be a vowel. It has to be a vowel. Because MQ, MW, MJ, MK, see, none of these make sense. Okay, so it has to be either MA or MI. And then where does the O go? So the O, it either ends in O, like mango, but there's no G and there's no N. That would be convenient, wouldn't it? It could also be a double letter. Sometimes they trick you with a double letter. Is it always a double letter? No. Is it a rule that it can't be a double letter? Also no. It could very easily be a double letter. There's no C. So what if it was an I? There's no N. No G. Not a word. So the Wordle reminds me of this great game called not Minesweeper. Oh gosh, what's the name of the word? Mastermind. Mastermind. And you guess patterns of shapes of colors. And they can only tell you exactly what you're seeing in the Wordle. It's the correct color but not in the right place, or it's the correct color in the right place, either with a white peg or a black peg. And in the Wordle, if it's the right letter but in the wrong place, you get yellow. If it's the right letter in the right place, like the M here, that will be an M. That will be a green. There's no L. And we also know that can't be an A, can't be an O, because those are in the wrong spots. We can't start it with an M-O, because the yellow tells us there. It could be an M-A. It's more likely to be an M-A than, say, an M-I. Movie, but E is not part of it. And it can't be an O. I don't even know why I'm looking at that, because it can't be an O. I mean, mafia. It could be a double letter. Let's think about this. Could be there. Can't be at the end. F is available. I'm being really cautious, though, because, like, that's guessing 2 A's. All right, let's try it. Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. Let's think here. So there's not an A at the end. There is no I. So the I was leading myself astray. But it is M-A, and there's an O, either not at the third, but at the fourth or the fifth. Our letters left. Now, we could double letters. It could be like a second A somewhere, or even a second M somewhere. M-A. There's no U, so it's very unlikely that it's the Q. Usually by now something just stands out to me. It's like, duh, that's it. There's no I. Gosh, you guys, this is our last guess. I was going to say major, but no R. There's no Y, and there's no R, mayor. No Y, no E. Either I'm a total idiot or I'm going to learn a new word today. We have had a couple of tricky words. Yesterday was decry, D-E-C-R-Y, right? Someone that decrees something. They have a decry, or they do decry. Is that the verb or the noun? I don't know. Oh, you guys. One more guess, and I haven't the foggiest idea. If it's something really simple, like, you know, like I said, mango, right? But there's no N and there's no G. What about letters that don't usually go together, right? Like Mawak, right? Like a WK, gawk. Z. There's no T. I'd be tempted to guess matzo. Matzo ball. If you're chatting, that's to you guys. I'm not reading it, because I'm sure some people are just screaming at me in the comments. Okay, here, let's put these letters out there that we know. M-A. And there is an O, but it's not here. It's not here. Makzo. No N. Mawab, Mabal. My bone. At this point, I'm okay just kind of throwing caution to the wind and putting something in there. So Goa. You guys, we gotta get this. O can't be here. Skip it. O can't be here. There is an O, and it can be here, or it can be here, or it could be both. Mazoo. That's not a word. I'm purposely not looking at the chat. I see it moving, but I'm not looking. I can't look. Okay, why do I think it's a K? It's not a K. Could be there. My job. My jock. Maju. Madrov. Maybe it's a double letter. Okay, I've been skipping the idea of it being a double letter. What if it's a double letter? Oh, that made it so I can't hear anymore. I have these great earbuds. I love these earbuds. They're for when I drum. I mean, you might have seen the other videos on my channel, but I'm a drummer as well. And I have these beautiful in-ear monitors. And if you put them just far enough in, you can't hear anything. I hear the echo inside my head is all, and what's playing through, you know. But if I have it just out, just barely, I can still hear kind of the room tone. I love these things. I pushed them too far in. All right, what if there's a double letter? Oh, Mambo? Mambo, that is a word. That is a word. Oh gosh, do we do it? Oh, I'm terrified. Maybe? Okay, let's do it. Oh my gosh. Like, that was a visceral reaction. Oh my gosh. That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh. Look at this. I'm getting it all on the 6th. Oh, right to the bitter end. We got real lucky one time, and we got it on the 3rd. Usually I get it on the 4th, right? If I'm playing my strategy where I come up with non-intersecting words, I get it on the 4th. And then sometimes we need it on the 5th. And then, oh my gosh, well, most of the time now, apparently, I need it on the 6th, the very last, the bitter end. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, you guys are talking. I'm so glad I didn't look at the chat. You're like, well, is Mambo a word? I'm like, oh no. If I had looked, that would have given the whole thing away. Well, thank you, Arav, who's apparently screaming at me. He doesn't look at chat. He thinks it's cheating. Yeah, I'm trying to keep myself honest. You know, I'm a good, hardworking person of integrity. You know, I just want to make sure that I'm having the fun that I can. I mean, it wouldn't be as fun if just somebody was, you know, imagine you're doing a puzzle or something. They're like, oh, here's the answer. And you're like, I'm right in the middle of doing it, you know? Oh my gosh. And you saw the absolute genuine reaction because I was not looking at the conversation over there. Had I thought of that, I would have gone, oh yeah, of course, Mambo, right? Let me take you through that one real quick. I know that the first part of it was like 20 minutes ago. But in honor of my dog that just barely passed away just a few days ago, we were kind of in a period of mourning at my house. So in honor of her, the first word I put in was sugar. And then I didn't want to intersect any of those letters for my second guess, so I said chomp. And then dealt, even though it did have an A, and that told me that it was not at the 3rd or 4th position, the A. And then I was trying to think of another word that could intersect, and I thought, no, maybe I'll just, throw a word out there. And it did end up being an M word, right? Moni. I was like, what if that's not even a word? So I just hit enter, and it thought it was a word, so... And then I can't really think of a whole lot of other words that didn't have the letters that we'd already said, right? Mafia, Mambo, Black Mambo. Or is that Mamba with an A? There's Mamba and Mambo. And then there's the is it Cuban? Music style. Mamba. Or is that Mambo? Am I getting them mixed up? I think Mambo... Yeah, Mambo number 5, right? Okay, some for the music, yeah. From deep in the archives of my brain. Oh gosh, well, we got it. All right, we are going to shift gears over here, and we are going to play the Strands. Hey, Arav, thanks for stopping in. You're awesome. Okay. And, so I don't know if you're still on. Who was talking before? Oh, TBS. Yeah, TBS is still here. Oh, yeah. So notice how now that we're at the Strands, this looked great for the Wordle, but looks ridiculous for the Strands. But now when I hit Strands, it looks like perfectly lined up. So, Festival of Lights Delights. That's cute. Okay. Festival of Lights would be Hanukkah. And I don't know any. I went to my couple of my friends' bar mitzvahs in high school, or actually that was middle school. Duh. I see sauce that comes up, but if these are going to be like Yiddish words, Hebrew words, then I'm just not going to know them. Oh, some of these I do know. Okay. Applesauce, right? On top of a latke. Okay, maybe I do know some of these. Okay, so latke. If it's gonna be like Hebrew words or Yiddish that we throw in here, then I'm not gonna know it. This does seem like another language. I'm looking at some of these. I can't think of it. What do I know? There's latke. Latke. Am I just spelling it wrong? Is that the plural? I don't know. Oh, well, I know challah. Is that how you spell it? Oh, is there a... There we go. It's two L's. Okay. And the CH makes the sound. Challah. There's the Seder. Isn't that like peppercocker or something? Or is that mixing? Oh, this one's tough because I don't know. I don't know a lot of the... I do know challah. And I know you're going to put applesauce on the latke. And I see latke here, but is it just an S on the end? Oh, you put an S on the end. Okay. Yeah, let's see. I don't know what letters combine to make that. And then the spangram, the way the strands work, the spangram connects one side to the other. Yeah, isn't this a great game? It's called Strands, not Word Cross. Yeah. It's almost like a kind of seek and find where you're trying to find words, but they could be not just up and down diagonal. It's everywhere. And I'm going to need help from maybe a Jewish friend. So the spangram goes from one side to another, meaning it might start here and then go here. Oh, does it have to go all the way up? I don't know. Cake. Schicht. Oh, I'm gonna have to use my phone a friend on this one. I am not sure. So there are three out of the 6 theme words found. And if there are 3 out of 6, that means there are 3 left. So there's, 1 in a corner. And then 1 somewhere else. And then 1 that's a big long line that goes from one side to the other. And we got challah. We got latkes. And we got applesauce. Festival of Lights, Delights. All right, let's take a hint. Kugel. Hanukkah. I'm spelling it wrong. Hanukkah. Hanukkah Foods. Hanukkah Foods. There's the spangram. Ladies and gents, there's the spangram. Hanukkah Foods. Briskets. There it is. Festival of Lights Delights. Festival of Lights Delights. Man, oh man. This is taking some time. This is really, I mean, this one was very tricky. Here, back to the puzzle. So first off, I saw applesauce, because I know you put applesauce and sour cream, is it? On latkes. And then I saw latkes. Actually, I saw latke with an E, and I was like, no, that would leave the S by itself. So we saw latkes and put the S on the end. And then I saw challah, right? Guttural sound. And then we had to use our hint, right? Kugel, which, again, another thing I'll have to look up. I had Jewish friends in high school. I went to a bar mitzvah or two in middle school. Coming of age party, right? I read from the Torah, and it was an awesome experience. Really neat to see that. And then the spangram itself went from left side to bottom. That was Hanukkah. And then I stopped there and I was like, no, there's more. So Hanukkah foods. And then after that, brisket came out, right? Brisket, which is a beef dish, not a pork or anything. Cool. Awesome. All right. And let's end off today playing Letterboxd. And I need to go like this for you to look at it correctly. There it is. Okay. So if you've never played Letterboxd before, it's a super fun one. I love Letterboxd. It really racks your brain. And tries you have to kind of see everything in this new way. I love it. Just really cool that you have to sort of reimagine words and the combinations of letters and stuff. So there are 3, 6, 9, 12 letters all the way around, and you are trying to make letters that span across the box. Now you can't use letters that are close to each other on the same side. So for example, I can't make an LY word because an L and Y are on the same side, nor can I do an ME or an AME, like game. I can't say that, because all three of those letters are connected to each other. The first thing I like to do is just kind of like purge my brain and see what's there, right? Let's consider all the options. We've got H, which is a great connecting letter, which is across from a T. That's helpful. It's also across from a C. So H, D, O. I don't really see connecting those three letters, so I think we're okay. L, Y, and C. V, I, and T. Ooh. Oh, and there's an E too, so I can't say any words like active or something because the TIV right there. And then A, E, and M. So I like to think first off, are there any letters that might be a little tricky that I will need to visit first just to get them out of the way first, Like an ED might be nice to add somewhere, but like a V, where am I going to put a V? And now that I've seen TIV, I really want to say the word activate, but I can't because those letters are connected. They're right next to each other. Can't say ME words. Molotov? I mean, that is a... Oh, it is. Sure it is. Maybe it's Oh, but I can't do it because there's a TI right next to each other. Okay. What about that CH? See if we can get... Or maybe we start with one of those challenging letters. Because the other part of it, I didn't mention this, but when you end a word with a certain letter, the next word has to begin with that letter. So like... Victory, that's a great word. wouldn't work here, but say it was something that did work, we'd have to start the next word with a Y, which is a little tricky. There's no TI is right next to each other, and then ME right next to each other. And you can revisit letters if you need, right? So we could say a word like vacate. And then that leaves us off on the E. We could also end on the D, vacated. And then we'd have a D word. I wonder if we should do that, vacated. Okay. We can't double letters, so a word like dilemma would not work here. How about... Oh, I can't do LY. Dang it. Dimly. Dimly's a good word. But I can't use it here. I could just say dim. And then that leaves us with... That's such a simple word, though. Molt. How about just thy? That's a word. Hey, we did it in 4. Great. We did it in 4. Check it out. So we started with vacated. And then just a short word, dim. You don't have to make complex words. You just have to cover every single one of the letters. Molt. M-O-L-T. The M from the dim left us to start with the M on molt. And then T. And I just needed the H and the Y. And I thought, well, T-H-Y already makes a word. So we used thy. Thy tender care. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks, you guys. This was great. I'm glad you joined in. I'm glad, some people are having some fun conversation. And I think I told you before, but I usually don't like it when people put answers in the comments. And for that reason, I don't even look at my comments while I'm playing, especially, the Wordle or something, because people are just screaming at me, oh, I got it wrong, but this is the right one. Just simply because I want to be able to set it up, just, and do it myself. You saw my gut reaction when I got the Wordle correct. I was like, what? Because I hadn't looked, It was my visceral reaction to it. Let's go back and just review just a little bit here. So, like I showed you, the orientation for letterbox doesn't work for connections, but if I click on my scene in OBS to make it look nice for connections, I just want to admire my puzzle. All right, and we got it in kind of the order they intend you to get it in. First off, appointment specifications. You might hear the date, the duration, the location, and the time. Different shades of red would be brick, cherry, maroon, and ruby. And I was mixing these two up, and I probably shouldn't have, because the head of a river, right? A strand is a beach term. The beach. So I saw beach and strand and head, and I was like, oh, this must be like openings of mouths of water or something. Delta should have been up there or something. And I didn't see it, and then... It's just like one of those duh moments. Strand didn't refer to that. There were other things like a lock or a wisp, right? Or fur. I saw fur. I tried to put it with fur. And then, that didn't make sense. So then I'm like, duh, strand of hair. So a head of hair, a lock of hair, a strand of hair, or a wisp of hair. And then this one, I'm glad... EAR and a U tree, and I think that's YEW. Yeah, that's great. Okay, and I think I told you yesterday, but when I tried to do exactly what we're doing right here, reviewing the puzzle on Saturday, it said yeah, you want to do tomorrow's puzzle? And I was like, no, I don't want to do tomorrow's puzzle. So we did it anyway, just for fun, right? I had it there with me. And so we did tomorrow's puzzle today. Well, being today, Sunday's puzzle. And we ended up with some great answers here. Saturday's puzzle. I don't know if you did Saturday's puzzle, but it was complex. It was really challenging. I did not get most of them on the first pass. I had to go like to the down ones. I'm like, okay, well maybe this is an M, and I had to revisit. So getting closer, so to speak. You're getting warmer. Oh, you're ice cold. It's a great game for kids. Your first string crew is your A team. I still want to look this one up. Gonzo journalism, style associated with Hunter S. Thompson. That I do not know. Gonzo journalism. That came to me because of the other clues, the opposing clues for down. Prized activity for new parents would be sleep. Activity in air quotes. Right? Sometimes when you get a question mark at the end of the hint or quotation marks in the clue, that means, there's kind of a stretch. It's more of a joke answer. Love that. The opposite of more would be less. Okay, that was an easy one. And then down helped me fill in some of those consonants and vowels that I was missing. Moves like an excited dog's tail. It wags. Ring-shaped reef. I messed this up yesterday as I was reading it. I thought it said ring-shaped beef. So I'm like, I have round, or like, what's the hint here? Usually there's a question mark if you're telling a joke like that. But it wasn't beef. Of course it wasn't beef. We're not at Arby's or something. It's ring-shaped reef. Reef is an atoll. Renee Zellweger of Bridget Jones' Diary. Puzzles in a children's coloring book. Might be mazes. And then to clean the floor is to mop. So there's an S on the end, so mops. Cool. The Wordle today, I spent the majority of the time trying to figure out the Wordle today. Oh, I was racking my brain, and after I looked at it after the fact, people were screaming at me in the comments, you should get the answer. Why aren't you getting this? But I don't look at the comments while I try to figure these out. For that exact reason, I had a very visceral reaction when I finally got it. I was so nervous. I was just absolutely just beside myself trying to figure out the combination of letters. I started out today with the name Sugar because, in honor of my dog that just passed away. She was sweet as sugar. She's part of the family. She's just a sweet dog, golden doodle. If you want a really sweet temperament of a dog and hypoallergenic, just fiercely loyal, super smart. It's golden doodle. She's great. So we said Sugar there, and it gave me the A. And then, as I like to do, I like to think of a second word that does not intersect in any way with the first word. And you can see that in my stats. I usually don't get it. I've never gotten it on the second guess for that reason. Dealt, right? So I have the A, I have the O, I have the M. And I'm thinking, okay, what else could this be? I have a lot of letters that it is not. And then I found out with Moni, I wasn't even sure if that was a word. I just put it in, and it gave me, hey, there is an M, and it's in the right place. But then we've got the O and the A, and for sure the A was not in the third or the fourth. So what's the likelihood it's at the end? Maybe not as much. So maybe it starts the word. And then the only word I could think of that was M-A that didn't have any of those other already used letters was mafia, which was not the answer. So I'm scrambling, trying to figure out a word. And I mean, go back and look at the live stream. I was I was racking my brain for 15 minutes trying to figure this out. And we finally came to a double letter, right? Sometimes they don't double letters. They don't have to not double letters in creating these words, but sometimes they do double the letters. And in this case they did, and it was mambo. That was one of the things I was thinking too. I was like, I bet it's one of those things where it's a weird combination that you don't usually see, right? Like a WK, like gawk, WK, or LV, right? Like valve, what combination of letters here would make that work? And it was MB. You usually don't hear MB, mambo number 5. I can't show you the strands, but if you want to kind of revisit that one again, you can see it. It just allows you to replay another strand. And then our letterboxed. We did great on letterboxed here. Let's go letterboxed. Oh, you know what? I can't even show you the letterboxed anyway, so too bad. Yeah, great. Just really great puzzles today. I love the strands. Really pushed. Yeah. So anyway, I'll just if you want to see those again, you can revert back to that. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for spending some time with me on this Sunday. Still, early afternoon. You got plenty of time. Hopefully, you spend with your family in this sort of strange void between Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. Actually, we're still in Hanukkah. In fact, the Strands had everything today to do with Hanukkah foods. It was great. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.